to start off by saying how disappointed I am in the fact that I had to watch you count to 20 on your fingers.
What do you mean? I was letting everybody know when the 20 seconds is.
As a grown man,
Oh my gosh.
if
he was
it's
doing a
past
math
10,
problem.
we don't need to count on our fingers.
I'm letting niggas know
I
how long the
understand
20
what you're letting
seconds last.
niggas know, but like, we understand. We know how to count. We don't need to see.
What if we're counting a different?
It does. Well, it doesn't matter because you're the one clapping.
All right. No.
I just don't think you need to clap.
Welcome to the Background Noise Podcast.
Yes, welcome.
Oh my God.
Episode 2, baby.
Episode dose.
For all of those people that listened to the first one, we are so grateful. Thank you so much. We love you to death. Apologies. The last 5 minutes got muted. I kind of fumbled on the editing at the end. I was very fatigued. But I don't feel like reposting it. So, it's all good.
Yeah.
The only thing you missed is that we're adding a section which will feature in this episode called Unlicensed Therapy. What that means is we have an anonymous leak. It's on our Instagram. You'll probably miss this one if you haven't seen my story already. Today on Sunday, which is when we're shooting. This won't come out for a week.
March. What's the date?
Today is March 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So you if you didn't see the story to right now, on Friday, be looking out on our story.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an anonymous link. You send your advice. We won't know who you are. And ask us whatever. It's about life. It's about your job, your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. Ask a question. We will answer it and give you the best unlicensed therapy anybody could ask for.
Should I make the statement that I need to make now?
Let's wait till we do it at the end of the show.
Okay, so at the end of the show, I'll make that
For
statement.
sure. Okay, so Tay, our master of ceremony, if you will, what is our first topic?
All right, so this is going to be like multiple things here. So we're going to talk about them banning TikTok,
Okay.
right? But also, I was watching the live when the Supreme Court was voting on it or whatever, and they're like based off of 1960, the bill that was passed in 1960, we can't have TikTok.
Right.
That's 1960.
Right.
It's 2024. Who cares about a bill that was passed in 1960?
What did the bill say?
No idea, but he's like based off of this and this and this and 1980s and blah blah blah. We can't have TikTok.
Honestly, I don't know anything in regard to facts. I've only listened to other people's opinions.
100%.
But what I'll say is I've heard that when you know how like with every app you have to accept their agreements and their basically you give them permission to have so much access to what's in your phone. And I think that's the fear. And it's owned by a Chinese company, and they think that the Chinese government is using that company to collect data on U.S. citizens. That's like the crux of it. Which on one hand is like fair.
Right.
But then I also have this other conspiracy that because of TikTok, support for Israel is diminishing, especially amongst the younger U.S. population. So there's this clip that's been going viral where it's this, he works for ADF, which is something to do with the whole Israel-Palestine thing. But basically, hold on, let's wait for Christian.
Yeah, that is extremely unprofessional. You
Not on
know what we're
vibrate.
doing.
Honestly, I do have it on vibrate. It's my laptop.
Did that stop recording on
know
your
what did not
laptop?
stop recording?
Covered that base
You know what?
and I
You know
checked my
what?
phone, which is now on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, my phone.
Oh.
Get your shit
Do we
together,
really
guys.
want to do this? Because we can do this.
My goodness.
Anyway, so like I was saying before I was rudely fucking interrupted. Basically, this guy, he was like, look, it's not a left-right issue, meaning liberal and
This is how it works.
Who is
Wow.
that? Answer the phone.
No.
Go ahead, answer.
No,
Answer
let's
on the
pause
show right
everything.
now.
No, answer.
Let's see.
Answer.
Yeah, answer on the pod
Answer
right now.
right now, bro. We'll crop it out. Who's that?
It's JC. Hey, JC, I'm in the middle of recording a podcast.
Like,
Can
what?
I call you afterwards? Yeah, they're really drilling
Like,
me in
how
right now.
unprofessional.
Pause. No pause. Yeah, I got you.
Hello.
I'm also here. That's
I hung up the phone. It doesn't
They only
matter.
agree
Oh my
one
God.
person. So we're back. So originally, it was thought to be a liberal and conservative issue, support for Israel. It was assumed that conservatives support Israel, liberals support Palestine. But it has been recently discovered that it's young and old. Young people support Palestine and older people support Israel. Now, Israel is a huge ally to the U.S. We fucking send them boatloads of
yeah, of
weapons
course.
and funding, right? And so if the young voters aren't going for that shit, that becomes an issue. And if you've got programs or platforms like TikTok, advertising Free Palestine and showing all the carnage that's going on there, it doesn't look good for us politically. It doesn't look good for our allyship with Israel. So from what I've seen on the internet and like Joe Rogan and Twitter and all that stuff and podcasts, that's the crux of the issue. That's why they want to ban it. That and
invasion of privacy.
Invasion of privacy. Yes.
We're so past that though, I feel like. Terms and conditions, there's so many websites you have to create an email. There's so many usernames and accounts. Like, we're past that point. I've accepted, like, everybody's going to know everything, and who cares? I mean, as long as there's no money missing from my bank account, then I'm pretty much okay.
And that's another big thing that a lot of Americans are worried about is that most Americans don't care for privacy. They just want to be safe.
Right.
Like, if I can be safe, what do I really have?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does the government really care about, I don't know, my weird sex habits or whatever I'm from people? So that was a big thing. Like, y'all remember the Edward Snowden story?
Yeah.
The CIA, he was a whistleblower about how deeply into people's private lives the government was getting. It was a whole thing, and he got like banned to Russia or whatever. He got banned from the U.S. He sought asylum in Russia, but that was his whole thing. Like,
wow, you're really knowledgeable on this topic. I wasn't expecting that.
But there's a lot of Americans like, no, like, if we allow them this overstep, it's only a matter of time
before
they control us.
Right.
So it's like, that's kind of the macro look at the whole TikTok ban. And then, of course, not forgetting the fact that our government feels like China's using it to spy on the American people.
Right.
And they'll, what's the word? Collect information.
Well, that can tie into, like, the young versus old, because the older ones, they may care about their privacy.
Exactly.
Especially the ones in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
them niggas be
they're
wild out.
exactly. And that will tie into my question into how old should our officers be in government?
Yes.
The president of the United States is 84 years old. How do we feel about that?
Christian?
I think honestly, it's hard to say. I don't know. I don't think them being old is the issue. I just feel like we're not having enough people that are young in there.
So you're saying it needs to be more of a balance?
Yeah.
It's not that an 80-year-old can't serve, is that it can't be everybody.
Bro, like, the country is made up of, 80-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I'm not suggesting we put a teenager in there, but, maybe somebody in the background to show on the roads. But I feel like we need to, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we need to change the whole system of government, but I do think we need to consider having younger representatives in there.
For sure. Well, that's the thing. It's up to us, right? Here's what I realized this recently. In order to unfuck the system, you have to start from the bottom up.
100%.
You can't think that one presidential election is going to change it.
Right.
It can change the course of America, but it's not. It's futile if we don't start from the bottom, in my opinion, right? Because Donald Trump did change the course
100%
of the way politics is done. But if we want to get younger people in, you got to start from the bottom, and that's a big thing you hear, especially amongst black voters. You got to vote locally.
Right.
So I vote regularly. I will say I really only vote in the presidential election, but when I go, I notice I am always the youngest person in the poll.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I live in a pretty mixed area now, but it's only me and older white people, and I see older black people. But I rarely see people our age in there. And I know it's a decent amount of 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds in my city in Covington where I live. But it's like, if you, and this is the thing, like, it won't be instant. You may not see it in your lifetime. But if you practice voting in your city and you put that, instead of saying values in your kids, what happens is good, qualified people will start making the city better. And then we'll get them up to the state, to the federal level. And ultimately, that's how you make change.
We're just not, a lot of us, our peers are not educated enough.
For sure.
And
definitely.
Anytime I come across someone who doesn't vote in, like, state elections or county elections, I'm like, bro, you should definitely do that. Because when I went to go vote, it's like, oh, things like, do you think Georgia should legalize weed? And they're like, oh, that's on the ballot? I'm like, yeah, you should go vote. If MARTA should be expanded across, that's the train here in Atlanta.
I commute and almost 2.5 hours round trip daily.
Exactly.
So it's like the train would probably take longer, but it's like if that's
having that option,
money, I will for sure wake up early to take the train from Covington to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we fail to realize what little stuff and how much like immediate change you can actually see in your town if you vote the right people in. Whether it's maybe my town got hella potholes, and this particular candidate, like, look, we're gonna fix that. Like, because I don't give a flying fuck about my local election, I'm never gonna know that I can help change this right now. And so yeah, I think that's really important. Election coming up in November, right? Election season. So I'm not saying like, you know, become a nerd in regard to politics, but just let's look like these politicians have social media, read a couple articles, even if you listen to podcasts, just one way or another try and ingest what's going on politically. And I personally think it's interesting, especially as I get older. But like start voting on like local elections. But back to the original point, I feel like I'm taking us way off track. I understand why you think age should be represented. However, there are certain offices that have potentially unlimited term limits. Oh, yeah. And it's like, eventually, it's going to become only self-interest.
100%. But that's why I think you have to, like, you do have to have a cutoff. So I do think it's like, because, and this is no disrespect to people who are in this age group, but like, after a certain point in time, it's no longer about you.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd say really once you're in the age of like retirement plus, which let's say we do a collective survey, how old is every retired person in the United States? And they're like, if every retiree or retired person is 70 at least, okay, 70 years old needs to be the cutoff. Yeah. Because you've already worked, you know what I'm saying? And that means we can change certain things like, okay, how much a retiree's like paying on their taxes. Like we can change certain things like that because they don't have to be as involved. They don't have to worry about stuff. Because if you think about it, to your point of like self-interest, some of the reasons why people want to be involved is because of their self-interest. Some people, the reasons why they want to, you know, they want to change tax laws. They want to, you know, this, that, and the third.
A lot of people get into politics solely for selfish purposes.
Right.
Like the lobbying, all that
100%.
stuff. Like, it's legal corruption. That's what it is, right? Yeah. Like, I'm sure you've heard this before, but basically how it works is companies can give politicians stock options. And if I'm a politician and I know if I pass this law, Walmart stock is going to go up, and Walmart just gave me X amount of shares, I'm going to get paid. So it's like, it's legal though, but it's corrupt because these politicians are now acting in self-interest instead of the interest of the people, of you. So it's important. And I think what is either Congress or the House, it's every 2 years that your state representatives get elected. Something like that. Look it up for yourself, please, and not my word for it. But it's like, those are way more often than the presidential elections. And those guys actually change things. So if you pay a little attention, just read a couple articles, go off your gut. If you like the way they look, then vote for them. But you need to be active because the more people whose votes need to be acquired, the more control we have.
Right.
And that's like, for example, like Democrats. Black people are Democrats' political bitches. They know.
That's crazy.
They know. They know think about it. Joe Biden went on the Breakfast Club and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. With his motherfucking chest.
Yeah, he did.
Here we are, 2024. This nigga hasn't done anything for us.
No.
We gotta.
I mean, he's forgiven loans.
Crime bill. He's forgiven some loans. My shit's still there.
It's gotten so bad that niggas actually are messing with Trump. I've seen like more niggas are starting to openly mess with Trump.
We didn't vote for him. We voted for Kamala Harris. I don't know what the fuck she does. She's vice president, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it was simply because she was a woman.
And here's the thing, right? Here's what really bothers me about this shit is like the truth is, black people are really conservative. If you really think about it, we're really the only reason we don't vote Republican is the race factor.
I feel like
if you really think about it,
that's us being raised in the South though. Because of slavery and a whole bunch of like racism and things like that.
Think about how many black people are down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you go up north, the population.
But there's some black people who are diehard Republicans.
For sure,
like, diehard.
I don't know. All I'm saying is
vote.
Yes, and if personally, I think if black people want to change things politically, we need to pull our vote. So what I think we need to find one person that we can all get behind, and they may not win, but what will happen is one party or the other will suffer without our votes.
Of course, Georgia that's with everything.
Blue when Joe Biden won. We changed the economic. We changed Georgia. Atlanta did really change Georgia from a conservative to a liberal state on the map, right? That was the black vote, right? So it's like if we pull our vote and we vote, let's say we vote for a centrist, some black person we prop up, right? Let's say it's Jay-Z for the sake of my example, and we pull our vote from the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans probably won't need it to win, but the Democrats are going to fold, and they're going to have to acquiesce. And if they don't do it on this, so let's say we do it, and then they, okay, fine, we'll give you what you want, and then we vote, and they don't do it, well, now we know they're full of shit.
No.
And now they don't have our votes. We know they're full of shit
Exactly,
anyway, but
yeah.
we're so afraid to vote in a
Yeah,
Republican. But it's like, we have to vote for us at the end of the day, and I feel like we don't vote for that. We just
100%.
we vote ideologically a little too much, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my very long rant about that.
All right. Have y'all seen that TikTok video of that lady on Instagram talking about she likes black people but not like ghetto black people?
It's like the I'm black and I'm finally not afraid to say trend.
Yes. How do you guys feel about
I'm very happy about it.
Oh,
Not because I hate
expound.
ghetto people. I don't hate ghetto people.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't consider myself a ghetto nigga. I'm obviously not from any hood I rep. No, I don't know. I don't even know what it takes to become a ghetto person. I'm gonna be very honest. But I just feel like I don't know, because it's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with the quote unquote ghetto person. Like I want to make that very clear, because I feel like that word is turned around, called out way too loosely in a negative
Hood
connotation.
people.
Yeah, like those people that we call hood are very beautiful, loving, amazing people. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you turn them off the wrong way, then that's on you. But the point I'm making is, the only thing I don't like about it is, like, for those of us who are not considered hood, this may not be everybody, but I feel like there's a sense of like blackness that comes with being ghetto or hood that people who aren't that feel like they're not, if that makes sense. Like, you almost don't feel completely black if you don't like you know what it is. You know how when we went to Oakwood and we realized, or at least I realized, I don't have an Atlanta accent for real. That always troubled me.
If anything, southern, a little southern,
Maybe,
but not.
and I was like, dang, like it made me feel like, like I just felt, but man, like when you realize black is more than just the accent, it's more than the, how many of the quote unquote hood classics you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more than that. All that stuff seems kind of pointless. So I'm glad that we're kind of coming out of this, I'm not afraid to say, what is it?
Basically, like, I'm a black person, I'm not afraid to say this. It's like the name of the trend.
So I like that. It's because it's just embracing different type of blackness. There's different types of blackness that's still black.
Okay, what about you, Ted?
I just feel like there's a time and place for everything, and black people tend to code switch. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, because even talking to certain ladies, right? Like, I made like a southern, more urban type of female, but if I want to take her to a fancy restaurant, and she's like, what the fuck is that? Or what the hell is this? It's like, where's the poise? Where's the class? You should be able to just go back and forth type of thing. Like, just be able to code switch. That's all. I'm really not for, like, the red lights and hopping out the car and twerking and things like that. That is a turn off. Like, or just...
Is that relegated only to quote-unquote hood people, though? I feel like a drunk woman of any
that may be like the black girls, like,
can wild out, whether it's twerking or like whipping out your teeth.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like if you're drunk enough, you can do that. Like, I feel like twerking specifically is like, associated with black people because we have the assets for that kind of behavior.
Fair enough. That
More
was a
so
poor
than our
example.
counterparts,
But like, just the unwillingness of that nature. I don't know how to describe it. But like going out to a restaurant and there's like, there's caviar here. And they're like, I don't know what that is. Like, I'd rather just stick to my chicken fingers and fries. It's just like, we should live life.
Bro, I'm willing to step outside.
Exactly.
Okay,
like, it's just like an ignorance thing. Like, try something else and you'll learn something. Yeah. I feel like that's really, when it comes to the hood perspective, it's just not open-minded. The willingness to learn.
I don't know. I feel like the hood folks are getting outside of that a little bit, though.
Is it the hood folks or is it just black people?
I feel like
black people in general are just doing.
I mean, that for sure, but we've been doing that. I think that's just wrong. But I'm talking about niggas in the hood. I feel like niggas in the hood are stepping outside a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
It don't got to be in grand, crazy ways, but I mean, look at. Maybe this is not a good example, but like, let's take scammers for example.
Okay.
Scammers are moving from, let's say, majority of scammers live in Fairburn.
Okay.
They come from Fairburn. They'll go from Fairburn and they'll move to Buckhead. Buckhead ain't nothing but new stuff. If you move into Buckhead, you're eating Chipotle, you're eating poke bowls, you're eating. I mean, that's just because that's what's available to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not
It's an
saying
Indian spot up here.
right. So it's like, so it's not like they're not gonna come back to the South Side and get some Popeyes every now and again or whatever. But like.
But there are some people who are like, nah, I'm not going to eat
No,
that.
those people definitely still exist.
I'll eat Chipotle.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get some
For
wings.
sure. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, though.
Here's what I think. I think what we're seeing is classism in the black community. That's
Okay.
what we're seeing, right? Because it's people are making it a prejudice thing, and it's like, it's not hatred. It's just classism.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Also, what we've allowed in the black community is associating hood or the hood culture of violence or obnoxiousness or ignorance with all poor black people.
Yeah.
Or black people in general. We've allowed that to become the representation of us as a whole, right? And of course, you could argue like white supremacy and systemic racism has put that on us, but in general, we've allowed that to happen. And so what happens is we're associating hood culture with all people that live in the hood. Every person that lives in the hood doesn't sell drugs. Every person that lives in the hood isn't obnoxious.
Right.
There's some people, and then they portray these attributes socially or characteristically,
right.
and now we're putting that on everybody, right? And I like the trend in the beginning where it was like, I don't like collard greens, or or grape soda doesn't taste good. But then it very quickly became, I'm just gonna shit on poor people or people from the hood, and it's like. And it's like we went to school and we have friends that grew up in the hood and they're not like that.
Right.
And so it's like that's what bothers me about it.
Yeah.
And also like every culture has classism and we gotta stop acting like it's unique to us. So like white people, like Chris Rock has a joke, white people don't like rednecks.
Right.
It's not because they're prejudiced towards other white people, they're poorer and they act obnoxiously, they don't dress well, whatever. In India, there's a caste that has a lot to do with like skin color, but it's rich and poor, right? So it's about class, and so I feel like as black people, we gotta stop hating on our poor brothers and sisters, and like stop associating certain behaviors with everybody in that area.
That boy Derek on his
You know what I'm saying?
he's on his, what do we call that? His activist vibes today.
Right on, brother, right on. There's this trend on TikTok right now talking about I'm black and I'm not afraid to say. Yes. And there's this one particular video, The Kept Wife, I believe, where she says she loves black people, but she hates hood people. And in that video, she says things like stank and loud and nasty and referring to hood people. Which I think is out of pocket.
For sure.
Out of pocket. Why do we have to have these negative connotations to wearing wigs and things like that? Like, why are we talking down? That's what I don't like about it. She mentioned wigs
specifically in the video. That's why she went.
Yes. I don't like when we put people down. Just because you're different from the next black person doesn't mean you have to call them stank and ugly and nasty. And it's just...
Well, I do want to say, and this is not just about hood people. It's about black people in general. We gotta let go of these wigs.
My brother?
It must be done.
Here's the thing. First of all, finish your point.
Like I said, this isn't just about hood people. This is black people in general.
We're moving on,
And obviously, black women, because niggas aren't really wearing wigs like that. You know what? I'll go even further. Wigs and the dreadlocks that don't belong to you. Black men. Black men. The dreadlocks that don't belong to you should not be on you. So,
but why?
Because why not rock what the Lord has given you? You know what I'm saying? Now, I do understand there are certain cases, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to say that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, like, let's say like cancer patients, like if you're bald or whatever and you don't want to rock the ball, okay, cool, do the wig. But you have a full head of hair. I understand it takes a very long time to do that. I understand, I do. It comes with the territory. Like, it is what it is, bro.
Me personally, anything worth having takes hard work.
Hard work.
If I want good grades, I'm going to have to work hard to get them. If I want a nice body, I'm going to have to work hard. If I want a good relationship, I'll have to work hard. And I'm not. That's and the way God made y'all have to put in extra work to make sure the hair is looking good. And here's my thing. Personally, I love 2-strand twists. I love box braids. I dig that.
Right.
But with the wigs, it's like I feel like, and I'm not just talking about be natural. When I say be natural, I'm not just talking about the curly headed bitches. That's not what I mean. If you got nappy hair, wear the fucking fro. Like what I'm saying, like rock that shit. Whatever you do, like I'm not speaking only to loose haired women or like easier to manage than 4C or whatever. Like if you have natural hair, figure out how to rock it to where it's cool. Like to me, it says a lot about a woman if she wake up every day and puts in effort to make sure her hair looks nice. Like the Black Panthers, they were proud of their shit. They wore the fucking fro. They wore the braids. They did all that shit. Like our ancestors weren't wearing wigs
that's
all the
my
time,
thing,
right?
fam.
And it's like okay, if you losing hair, I understand. I also understand that it's not feasible depending on your job sometimes for sure. But I feel like in general, and this is how I feel. I'm not saying this is a fact, but I feel like I see a lot of our women, especially on special occasions, looking to wear a wig as their best look versus their natural hair.
It's not just the fact that the wigs are only the silk press. Yeah, so we know the regular wigs that we're used to, the silk press that kind of gives
bust down middle part.
Right.
Or the Brazilian wavy.
Right. But they've also now have wigs with kink in them.
Yes.
I don't never see those.
Oh no, they exist.
I'm saying I don't see women wear them.
Oh no,
but I see the bust down middle part.
No, you see women wear them, Derek. You don't know.
You don't know.
I know
Yeah.
I know what a wig look like.
Derek.
I'm saying it's not nearly as popular as the straight wig.
Yeah, true.
I don't know, bro.
And my maybe just
I'm seeing hella women on Instagram, and I'm like, man, her hair looks good, and then I see her break it down into a wig tutorial, and I'm like, you mean to tell me you're substituting? I understand where this is coming from, but come on, fam.
It's for the plot. Like
For the plot? What's the plot?
If I wake up today and I'm like, I just wanna do this. Why can't I do that? Why can't I just have some length that I don't have for the day and feel like Beyonce?
You know, it's not that I'm against that. I am against that. What am I talking about? I'm not even gonna fake it.
It's not that I feel that I'm ugly or not up to par without a wig, but sometimes I just want to be cool or just switch it up.
That's how it appears to me.
Okay.
It appears as if, because to me, there's no way
I'm an ally.
you love your natural kinky hair, but you never wear it.
Like never.
And I'm not saying that's how you feel, ladies. I'm not saying that's the truth, but that's how it appears on the outside as a man looking in. To me, there's no way you're confident or you love your black hair, and I literally never see you wear it. That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't seem like a confidence issue to me. I just want us to just rock with the good Lord.
It seems like a confidence thing to me.
I think it's the matter of knowing how to do it, because I know a girl who doesn't know how to do her hair. Okay. Like, for instance, before I got locks, like, I had, my friends do my hair. And, like, all I could really do was put it in a puff. Yeah, granted, it was cute, but I didn't know how to twist or braid. I always had to, like, schedule an appointment or something like that. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm just going to lock it up. So some girls really just don't know how to do their hair or braid, things like that. So
that's
I'm
respect.
here for you.
Now, here's
okay.
Now, as a person who used to have a lot of hair, it was on this natural journey. Obviously, I'm not... You know what? Nah, I put my time in.
Yeah,
I can say this with my
respect on it.
Nah, I feel like you did have hella. Like,
you did.
You know what I had to do?
You had twists.
Yes, I had to go to YouTube.
Give me a break.
I'm just saying, like there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
There's no the $500 you put down on that wig, you can put
and
into.
And that's the thing.
$500.
It's astronomical amounts
for a
money.
wig, fam. Here's the thing, though.
Like,
you can go to a person and get your hair done for $500.
Yes, you can get that natural hair that's so difficult to do every day. You can go get that done for the same amount of money.
And even if you want to add on hair, go get you the connect.
And here's the thing: that lace front gonna start lifting just as quickly as your natural hair gonna get unraveled
and also
after the appointment.
And I'm not speaking up for the young niggas because I'm seeing that they like that.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
I don't understand it, bro. The young niggas really like that. They really like they see the wig, they see all of it, and you know what else they like, bro?
What do they like?
And I'm not against this. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not really. I don't know how I feel about it yet. The exaggerated edges
I don't understand it.
I have nothing to say about it negative. It is insane.
I don't know how to. I see what you said. For me, it depends. Like, for me, it's like, I personally don't like an edge that meets the eyebrow. Like,
that's respect.
Personally, it's like I'm a
the
baby hair.
The adult hairs. Yeah.
I'm a baby hair edge guy. You know what I'm saying? Not adult hair edge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where that came from.
That's super popular. And it's like I thought it was to cover the forehead, but we love them foreheads.
What?
Baby. I kiss you on that dome. You know what I'm saying?
Like to the cup on it.
Facts. I love them foreheads. Don't cover that.
This is my thing. This isn't a case where you need to defend yourself. We're uplifting you more than you're uplifting yourself.
And that's what I feel like, queen, wear your natural hair.
What? We're telling you to rock your natural beauty. We're telling you you don't need that fake stuff.
But what if she has like heat damage and she does a twist out and her curls aren't popping?
This is my thing though. This is the problem with society. We see our imperfections and we try to perfect them. I'm saying rock your imperfections.
No.
Okay. I'm more of if you got heat damage, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it if you got heat damage.
You can work around that though.
The top part, the new growth is nice and curly.
Right,
and
I understand.
The rest
and the
of
one
your
is
hair
just
is just
cut
straight.
that thing off and start from scratch.
I understand if you got heat damage, but dare I say, everybody can't rock it. Cut it short. On some Amber Rose.
Bro, and even if everybody can't rock it, the wig is not the wig is already not the way.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
I can confidently say most men prefer natural.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm telling you, I've seen so many women. I'm like, man, she is attractive, and as soon as I find out that she has a wig,
the only thing that bothers me when it comes to it is like activities. So like in the summer or like I'm trying to do stuff and you're like, I can't get in the pool.
Yeah.
Like, that is so lame. That's not practical.
Yeah.
You got that bust down just to sit on the side of the pool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
But once again, I know I understand that for most of the women that wear wigs, it comes from a place of I don't feel like doing my hair this quick and easy, and I respect that. I understand that. But for the ladies that's rocking it out of insecurities, don't be insecure about the foolishness.
Okay, cool. So recently, it's been big in the news. Dre and Michelle, she was like on Basketball Wives way back in the day, is pregnant by Jalen Green, who's a 22-year-old basketball player. Dre and Michelle is 39. Now, this has sparked a lot of controversy. People are calling her a predator. They're saying, she's preying on his youngness, using him to get that money, child support. There's a lot of different takes. So, Tay, we'll start with you, Christian, and I'll go last.
I just feel like if I'm 21, and when I was 21, you were 9 or something like that, that's out of control.
She also has a son his age.
That's out of control. That's just why. I would just ask her why. People have their preferences, cool beans, and I guess when you're over 21, it's cool, but it's just really tricky because when I was 21, you were 9.
Yeah. Or
it's just a little weird, but I guess it doesn't matter when you're 21 and over. But I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, what about you, Christian?
I'm just it does suck that he's about to get his money took like that, but I mean, shoot, the age gap. He's a guy. This doesn't affect him the wrong way in any way. And the way I see it, like, you know what I'm saying? If roles were reversed and he was 39 and she was 22, I'd have an issue. But this is probably one of his lifelong dreams. Like, he probably watched Basketball Wives as a kid and like, dang, she bad as I don't know what. And now look at him.
Chance.
You know, no, he got his chance.
He got his chance
and he took it. So, I mean, way to go, Jalen Green. I'm sorry that you have to pay all that money. But,
I feel like I do think it's like Chris said, it could be just maybe he likes older women. Maybe they go the distance, right? I do think it is predatory in a way, because I personally find it hard to believe that in general she wouldn't go for a guy closer to her age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, I can make the argument that like if there was a 39-year-old man, which happens, like, there are sugar daddies or way older men that, marry younger women, and you could argue that they're predators as well. I would say, I feel like, if anything, I would be more mad at her because of her son. Like, she has a son the same age as Jalen Green. And if I'm the son, it's just like, what are you doing?
That is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it could be like a manipulation thing, or like she's securing her bag.
yeah. And at the end of the day, I also say from her perspective, like, you know, as humans, it's about survival. And she's like, I've become used to a lifestyle because of my past. Maybe I don't know much about Drake, but because of my past, maybe I know I'm not gonna marry like a certain caliber of dude my age that can afford this lifestyle. So this is what I got to do to make sure I live comfortable, to make sure I can keep this lifestyle up. This is what I'm gonna do. And in a way, I understand that, right? Like, she found success through you know, being with basketball players and doing basketball wives. And this is and that's the path she chose, and she's seeing it through, and she's doing a great job of making sure that's what keeps her up.
Who was her husband?
I don't think she. And those shows, it's not necessarily a husband that necessarily.
Oh, they just.
It's just that's the name of the show. It's just women that are in the basketball world. More or less.
Oh, got you. Okay.
I mean, I think
That's
she's
my
securing the bag because,
Yeah, me too.
like, I'm just thinking, like, for me, if I were to talk to someone who's 10 plus years younger than me, I don't think that I would want to, just mentally.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
What do
like,
we have to talk
what
about?
do they have in common besides being socialized, I guess? But no, I don't think it's from a genuine place. Or maybe he really is cool.
Yeah, maybe he just was like, I've always wanted a older woman. You know.
I mean, how young would you date?
For me, especially, I feel like the younger you are, the more a year makes in regards to difference. Like,
well, I mean, when we're older, like,
I would say, let's say if I'm 35, youngest I go is maybe I probably do 27.
yeah, that's fair. I'm
'Cause
not
at that
doing
point,
21, 22.
Nah,
That's
not at 35.
wild.
Like, you're in
35.
college, you live with your parents. Like,
Nah,
nah.
35,
If I'm 35, I would do, you're out of college, you have a job, you live on your own.
Exactly.
I feel like once you've achieved all those, then it's kind of fair.
That
game.
is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
And now Jalen Green has, but he's 22. Like, in any other circumstance, it would be weird.
Yeah.
The fact that he's rich is the only. If you really think about it, the fact that he's a rich guy is kind of the only reason that it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if he was just let's say she does find him genuinely attractive, he was just an attractive 22-year-old that's finishing up his last year in college.
She was not going for that. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's why I would see it as predatory. But yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna assume the worst. Best of luck to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awkward.
Well, guys, we're coming to the end of our show, and for the first time on the Background Noise podcast, we are doing unlicensed therapy. So we put out a link at the beginning of the show and asked you guys to send us your questions that you need advice on. It's anonymous, and we've got 4 messages, and we are going to start reading them.
Are you going to tell them all the messages? All the messages that we received?
No, only one of them is technically relevant to our question. So, guys,
wait. So we're not going to address the other
do you
messages.
feel like you should?
I want.
Derek's
I really.
fans.
Like, come on.
It's
We
not
got
like
to.
that.
And Derek, you're actually. At first, I was like, they shouldn't do this, but now that I think about it, this could help develop a nice little community.
I don't want it to be like that.
Hey,
I want it to be
I'm sorry, Derek. It chose you, so this is the way it is.
Okay,
Derek, you're the one.
Basically,
So-
guys, we just want to say we appreciate the compliments. We
Hold
appreciate
on,
the love.
Derek. Cut the we.
It's you.
Thank you. Like,
We, as a group, appreciate the love that y'all are showing us. Thank you. But we do ask that you keep it. Give us a question. Give us a
my
prompt.
gosh.
Seek advice, and we want to give advice.
Derek's not being
Yes,
real
advice
with you all.
from the past,
Yes.
advice, just anything.
I'm-
Not like compliments like, oh, Derek, I miss you.
Thank you. Like, Derek's not being real. Derek's taken. You don't have a.
Yeah, Derek
Derek's
is
taken.
taken. Derek is
Derek's
unavailable.
taken. He's unavailable.
I'm very available. I don't know Christian status, but
It's none of your business.
just putting that out there. Yeah, so you can't see him or hang out with him.
No, you can't.
Sorry.
We appreciate the love, guys. We just want to give advice.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we've only got one actual advice message
Okay,
sent
see.
to us, and we will use it. Thank you to the person that sent that. So, so I secretly mess around in quotations with a guy, but neither of us want anything serious. So, friends with benefits. A friend recently told me she's interested, and since I've known him a while, she wants my advice on pursuing him. What should I do?
Girl, why? Okay, I have a few questions. Why are you guys doing this in secret?
I'm sorry, I was just making sure that camera was rolling.
Why are you guys doing this in secret? And then if she asked you about him, just say, I'm talking to him. That I just tell the truth.
Yeah,
I
he's piping me down. Like,
yeah.
Sorry.
There's no reason to be a secret unless you guys are doing something bad, like cheating or something like that. But yeah, just go ahead. What's the holdup?
Why? Here's okay, Chris, you go first because I have a question now that I've read this.
I just want to say this is why the Bible tells us not to.
Wow.
Because look at the awkward predicament you're now in.
Heathens.
Yeah.
Harlot.
Keep it in your pants.
I'm sorry, we're not judging you. That was a joke.
I'm playing. Just tell the truth. Just tell them, nah, that's my little yeah, or whatever the kids say these days, and keep it pushing.
But is it in secret because you don't want anybody to know, like, is he ugly or something?
Okay.
Like, why are you?
I get wanting to keep your friends with benefits private because people are messy. However, my thing is, why not just tell her? Hey, listen, I didn't realize you liked him. If I would have known, I would have never engaged. But me and him been messing around for a minute. So it's like, if you want to, and maybe you don't want to give up the friends with benefits. Maybe the sex is good and you want to keep messing with old dude. So it's like, okay, do that, but just let her know, like, hey, like me and him are messing around, and just keep it cool like that.
Well, also, how do you feel? Do you want her to just go ahead and pursue it? Like, because if you don't really care, then you should just not care. But obviously you care because you wrote in.
Exactly.
And that's for advice. So, just tell the truth.
Here's the thing. Amongst a group of dudes, if I was like, hey, Christian, I like Shorty, what should I do? Christian gonna be like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm definitely beating that down.
And it'll automatically turn off the attraction.
And I'm not gonna be like, we're not gonna lose our friendship. He got to it first, and he succeeded. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm playing. Let me stop.
but like,
girls are a little different.
Okay. Please, Tay. While we have a few minutes left on these cameras before they die. All right, Tay, you were saying girls are different. Why?
It's just like everything's a secret, or they just don't tell you the whole truth. So, for instance,
Women are liars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Father in
and
the
it's
name.
just like you could have just said that when we were talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So then it creates drama for no reason. You know, and I think that's just a problem within our community.
So, Tate, it seems like
The community of women or
Women.
okay.
Are you suggesting that you guys are struggling with communication within you all's community?
No, I would say that, like, it's just the whole thing with women not wanting to see other women win or just being haters. Like, we tend to hate.
Why would you do that, though?
We tend to hate. I don't know what it is, but I love seeing black people win.
Right,
or
right.
Black
Yeah,
women win.
for sure.
Like, oh, she got a Mercedes Benz, or she got, good for her. I'm not gonna be hating, you know.
Yeah.
But some of these girls are just bitter.
Okay, you think that maybe our person who asked this question is afraid that if she tells her friend, hey, me and him are screwing, then she'll hate on her instead of just being like, okay, I can't have her.
No, I'm saying that she'll say, yeah, you can go talk to him, girl.
Oh.
And then secretly be like, why did I tell her? She's trying to get on my nigga. Like,
or
well,
she
you
wanted him,
could've-
but I'm fine with her.
Exactly.
I just want to make sure the ladies of the background noise understand that we do love women in this podcast.
Love them
And,
deeply.
Support you.
Yes.
And your nappy hair, or your straight hair,
Right.
or your little
If
foreheads,
anything,
or your big
we
foreheads.
just want the best for you.
That's it.
Because when it's best for you, it's best for us.
Absolutely.
Happy wife, happy life is a real thing.
Exactly.
Happy women, happy world.
100%.
Who runs the world?
Girls. We
Right.
run this mother.
So it's
Yeah.
just, and it's the truth, man.
For sure. Well, guys, I think that's it. If you are just pulling into the driveway, if you're just finishing your workout, if you're just finishing the dishes, if you've just been watching us on YouTube, whatever you've been doing, we are utterly grateful for you guys having us on as your background noise. We love y'all to death. Episode 2 in the can. And remember, before every episode, we are going to be putting a link in our story, in my story personally, and our personal stories, and on the background noise Instagram story, where you can anonymously submit your request for advice on our unlicensed therapy segment.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much. We love y'all to death. See you next time.
BGM.
I.
Peace.